All right. Hello, OA apparition. How y'all doing? Ultra rock, yeah. That word usually kind of came into its own in the 90s. Apparition, fellow 90s kid. I swear, just thinking of 90s stuff, Hey Arnold, oh god damn, that was an awesome show. I loved Hey Arnold. And, I just love, it was basically a kid's show, but about just, kids' slice of life, but it basically turned into an anime-style romance as it went on. And, I love the fuck out of that show. And finally, 20 years afterward, they finally made the proper conclusion to it. Damn, I loved it. Oh, hello, Foily, Void Dweller. Welcome. I haven't seen you before, Foily. Thank you for joining us. So, anyway, back to Higurashi. I don't know why, I just suddenly got into that topic for a second. I have no idea what Tomoe is thinking, honestly. Why on earth would she think that Natsumi had the answers? This little girl, just because she's a member of the three families? I think she's after the wrong daughter, but Rika is already dead in this timeline, so I really hope we get some insight into what she's thinking. And in those tips earlier, it looked like Natsumi's mother might be going to kill her grandmother or something. I don't know. Oh, God. Let's get back into it. Yeah, we saw those. Just checking that. Natsumi? Huh? With a pop, I was suddenly reminded of a pain in my shoulder. I wasn't sure when they got here, but when I looked back, Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan were standing together.
Nani? What is it? What's wrong?
What's wrong? That's my line. Have y'all already finished your classwork? When Chisato-chan inquisitively pointed that out, I buried my head in my desk. I was still in class, with notes and textbooks spread all around me. In the end, I never even began my classwork today. Oh, God. I think I heard the chime, but my memory was foggy. The three of us must have eaten lunch together during the break. But I couldn't remember what I ate or what we talked about at all. During class, y'all seemed a little absent-minded. I think I saw y'all sleeping with your eyes open, which I gotta admit is quite an impressive feat. Oh my god! Only you can perform such a skillful technique. Are y'all saying I'm like a fish? I thought it was obvious I was kidding. Even if you're just joking, you need to consider the time and place. Anyway, are you alright? Natsumi, your complexion doesn't look very healthy, you know. Looking concerned, Tamako-chan quickly apologized, then softly held her hand to my forehead.
熱はないみたいだね。
It looks like you don't have a fever.
佐藤、今日は車呼べる？
Chisato, can you call your car today?
そうだね。すぐ電話してみるよ。
Of course. I'll call right away.
ちょっと待ってて。
Just a minute.
いいよ。
I'm fine, okay?
私、全然平気だから。
I'm completely alright, so...
I tried to stop her, but Chisato-chan wouldn't hold back. She waved at me and ran out of the classroom. When I got up to follow her, Tomoko-chan grabbed my shoulders and pushed me back into my seat.
いいから座ってなさい、夏美。
It's okay, Natsumi. So please stay seated. Oh, god damn it. It's okay, Natsumi. Please stay seated.
これ院長命令。
This is an order from your class president.
いいね。
Alright?
大げさだってば。
You're exaggerating.
Even though I said that with a forced smile, Tomoko-chan replied, no good, while shaking her head at me.
うちの弟たちもね、風邪ひきかけでも平気だなんだって無理して余計にこじらせるんだよね。
I've seen it with my younger brothers. Failing to take the cold weather into consideration can make things worse for yourself, you know?
たまこちゃん、私同い年なんだけど。
Tomoko-chan. We're supposed to be the same age, but you're kind of like my mom.
世話のかかり度合いで言えば同じレベルよ。
When it comes to matters of personal health, we are talking on the same level.
違う？
Wouldn't you agree? I silently shrugged my shoulders. It was annoying, but what she said was true. And after sitting down in the seat next to mine, she looked across the classroom as if concerned about our surroundings. Most of the other classmates must have left to do extracurricular activities. Very few remained in the classroom. And those remaining students were chatting some distance away from here, unconcerned about what was happening over here. After verifying the coast was clear, Tomoko whispered to me,
千里から話は聞いた。
I heard the story from Chisato.
土曜日、大変だったみたいだね。
Saturday must have been rough.
Oh,
I awkwardly hung my head. I wanted to keep it a secret, so I never told either of them about what happened on Saturday. But really thinking about it, I worked part-time at the Care and Welfare Center run by Chisato-chan's father. So maybe she heard the story from her father, who received a report directly from the center. It seemed easy enough to imagine.
なんで相談してくれなかったの？
Why didn't you tell us?
ごめんね。
sorry.
いや、責めてるわけじゃないの。
No, I'm not blaming you.
だけど、お昼休みも私たちに話を合わせて、なんだか無理してるみたいだったから。
Because when we were talking during lunch break, it seemed impossible to bring up.
大丈夫かなってね。
I'm wondering if you're alright, you know? She has such good friends.
そうだったんだ。
Right. I should have realized.
I let out a slightly self-deprecating sigh. I was trying to do my best, but I ended up deceiving my friends after all.
当たり前じゃない。
I said it's not reasonable.
私だって、これでも夏美の親友のつもりだよ。
Aren't we supposed to be best friends?
気づかないわけがないでしょう。
I didn't even notice though.
千里だって。
But Chisato did. While looking back at the classroom door Chisato-chan just left through, Tomoko-chan continued.
ああ見えて結構気にしてたんだよ。
Despite how she behaves, she really cares a lot, you know?
Oh, believe me, Okay, I know. That's not despite how she behaves. That's more like because of how she behaves.
あのセンターなら変なトラブルに巻き込まれることはないはずって。夏美にアルバイトを世話したのは千里だったからね。
Chisato believes you would have never been caught up in this strange incident if she hadn't introduced you to the part-time job at the center.
千里ちゃんが
Chisato-chan?
まさかセンターに南沢出身の人が入居してたなんて知らなかったらしくてね。
I'm sure she had no idea a person from Hinamizawa had moved into the center.
珍しく落ち込んでたよ。夏美に悪いことしたって。
She's taking it pretty hard. I did something awful to Natsumi, she said.
あなたのことだから千里に苦情みたいに言うのは嫌だったからなのかもしれないけど。
Hello, Jess. Welcome to the stream. Telling Chisato about your problems may have been difficult.
親友だったらやっぱ直接に教えてほしかったんじゃないかな。
But since we're best friends, I guess she wanted you to say something directly. Best friends, huh? I think of both of them that way. But that's why I wanted them to truly understand why I didn't talk about it. If I told them about it, what would they have said? I'm sure they'd worry about me, say things like it was such a terrible disaster to comfort me. But on the other hand, the people from Hinamizawa are despised for being unusual. I didn't want to face that abuse, so I opted to keep my mouth shut. To be honest, I don't feel any empathy or pride in being from Hinamizawa or Okonomiya, or for being a member of one of the three families. So in that sense, I think my hometown sentiment is rather weak. But hearing unscrupulous things about my hometown from the mouths of my best friends sounded very unpleasant. Or worse than that, what if they started asking if I had any close relatives living in Hinamizawa? It was no joking matter. If I had confided in them, our relationship wouldn't be the same. The two of them were my kind and reliable best friends, but that was a relationship founded on the notion that I was an ordinary girl without any connection to some strange place. Oh, come on, Natsumi. That's an extremely petty thing to do. You gotta give them a bit more credit than that. If they learned that I was from the same place as the person with some mental disorder, I think they would end up hating me or treating me as another weirdo. Come on, Natsumi, don't think like that. And if the two of them already know, what's next? There's no need to think about it. They'll probably tell this story to Akira-kun. Since they're childhood friends. After he finds out, would he still feel the same? I can't imagine he would. Surely that's the case. It has to be. Why would you think this?
それにしても南沢の人ってのは厄介なものよね。
Even so, the people from Hinamizawa are troublesome.
変な民間宗教を崇めるのは自由だけど、周りにまで迷惑をかけるのはやめてくれって。
They're welcome to practice their strange local religion, but they shouldn't impose on others with it. After Tamako-chan's words just now, I was convinced. Anyone connected to Hinamizawa absolutely must keep it a secret from everyone. It's fun to be with Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan. I'm glad to know that Akira-kun has feelings for me. I finally obtained this small happiness over the past year since I moved to this town. I don't want to lose it. Or rather, I don't want to let it get away.
ねえ夏美、
Hey, Natsumi?
やっぱ今日はこのまま家に帰った方がいいんじゃない？
Wouldn't it be better to just go home today?
ごめん、わがまま言って。
Sorry, this is selfish of me.
すぐ終わるから。
It'll be quick, okay?
Feeling sorry, I clapped my hands together and apologized. Chisato-chan shrugged her shoulders in exasperation, then said to the driver Yamashina-san, like usual. When I asked to stop at the care and welfare center before I headed home, I could see the disappointment in Chisato-chan's face. The incident on Saturday was troubling, but it's probably for the best that I don't have any further contact with old man Hatakeyama.
今日でなくてもいいんじゃない？
Do y'all have to go today?
今週は水曜も午前授業で働くんだから、その時でも遅くないでしょ？
This week, we have morning class on Wednesday. Isn't it getting a bit too late? Chisato-chan admonished me by saying so, but I wanted to go today, so I made an unreasonable request. On Saturday, I didn't say it directly to the old man, but I said something horrible. Even though I was pressured by the detective, when I said I was not from Hinamizawa, it was like I was throwing away my ties with the old man. Even now, I regret it. After all, I couldn't see his face, but I imagined my words were terribly shocking. Then maybe his sudden fever wasn't caused by the detective's inquisition, but by my poorly chosen words? God, Natsumi,
様
no!
子を見に行かなくても、あの人は元気だって。
Y'all don't need to check on him. That man is fine.
夏美一人で面倒を見ているわけじゃないんだしさ。
Natsumi? Shouldn't you be focusing on your own problems?
ああ、いや、
Oh no.
ごめん。そういう意味じゃなくて。
Sorry. Didn't mean it like that.
いいの。
No, it's okay.
自己満足だって自分でも思うから。
I think I have to do this for myself.
夏美。
Natsumi. Chisato-chan anxiously bit her lip while turning toward me. Then, after moving her eyes back and forth while choosing her words, she opened her mouth.
あのさ、夏美。
Well, Natsumi?
何？
What is it?
別にさ、
Really?
もうやめてもいいんだよ。
Can't you stop this already?
Huh?
When her tone dropped, I instinctively turned my body. This may have been the first time Chisato-chan stared at my face with such concern.
正直言ってさ、
Honestly,
怒ってもいいよ。
it's okay to be angry, you know?
夏美って結構人見知りするでしょ。
You're a pretty shy person, aren't you, Natsumi?
それに都会にまだ慣れていないっていうか、すごく危なっかしいし。
Plus, I don't think you're fully accustomed to the city yet. It's awfully dangerous.
だからアルバイトをしたいって相談された時はね、絶対ここなら大丈夫って思ったところを紹介するつもりだったんだよ。
So when you told me y'all wanted to work here part-time, I wasn't sure I was introducing you to something that would work out.
そんなオーバーだよ。
That's all over now.
I bitterly shrugged my shoulders, but Chisato-chan didn't tease me like usual.
私ってほら、かなりいい加減でチャランポランだから。
I've always been pretty laid back about things.
どんな仕事でも平気だと思うし、多少誰かにバカにされても笑って済ませられる。
I've always been pretty laid back about things. I think that any kind of job is okay. Even if someone makes a fool of me, I can still smile about it.
でも、あんたは違う。
But y'all are different.
すごく純粋で優しくて、それに責任感もある。
Y'all are so kind, so pure. Plus, you have a sense of responsibility.
だから変なアルバイトで難癖つけられるとか嫌な思いをするとかは一切なしでいてもらいたかったんだけどね。
So, y'all could run into problems at your strange job. That's why I didn't want you to have a bad experience.
今回の件本当にごめん。
I'm really sorry about all this.
夏美が落ち込むような思いにさせたの私のせい。
I'm really sorry about all this. I think I've been feeling a bit depressed, and it's all my fault. Oh God, Chisato, no! It's not anyone's fault.
だから私に気を使って続けなくても本当に構わないんだからね。
So, even if y'all think less of me for all this, I won't really want to object, okay?
千里ちゃん。千里ちゃん。
Chisato-chan's kindness filled me with warmth, but at the same time, it was painful. The moment she learns my true identity, this compassion, I'm convinced it would fade away in the blink of an eye. God damn it, Natsumi! Will you stop sabotaging yourself? That's right. This is my punishment. I wanted to protect my happiness, and my sin was creating a lie that I needed to maintain.
大丈夫だよ。It's okay.
本当に。
Really?
だから気にしないで。
So you don't need to worry.
夏美。
Natsumi.
この仕事を紹介してくれて、私千里ちゃんには本当に感謝してるの。
I'm grateful that you introduced me to this job.
なんていうか、天分？
Maybe I should say this was fate.
なんて言い方は偉そうだけど、働いていて楽しいし、やりがいがあるしね。
It's great working here, though. It's fun and it feels rewarding, don't you think?
I'm sorry. I'm still reeling over the fact that you said that we met was fate. Woo-wee! Yes, I'm nurturing my lie even now, but my feelings are entirely true.
できればこのまま続けたいの。
If possible. I'd like to keep coming here.
お金が貯まった後も千里ちゃんさえ OK してくれるならずっとこの仕事を続けたい。
Even after I've made the money I need, if you're okay with it, I'd like to continue working here.
ダメかな。
Would that be wrong?
I am so glad that she wants to continue. Chisato-chan continued staring intently at me, and then she let out a broken sigh. Just then, she muttered, "Really, this girl?" in surprise. Then she returned to her usual energetic expression and suddenly grabbed me by the head.
千里ちゃん。
She's such a
ずくしかないでしょうに。
In that case, Chi-chan has no choice but to agree.
安心しなさい。あんたの骨はこの私がちゃんと拾ってあげるからね。
Y'all can relax, cause I'll carry your rattling bones, okay?
まだ死にたくはないよ。
Oh, wait, I don't want to die yet. Then inside the cramped car, Chisato-chan and I were screaming and laughing at the top of our lungs.
たく、あんたに負けたよ。
Jeez, you've bested me.
いや、こっちの話。
Oh, nothing. Just talking to myself. Eventually, the car drove beyond the city area and onto the prefectural road, where I could see Saiki Hospital. At the intersection before the hospital's main gate, the traffic light turned red and we slowly stopped in front of the pedestrian crossing.
ここの信号っていつも赤で止められるんだよね。
The signal here is always red.
なんか嫌がらせっていうか、タイミング悪すぎだっての。
Signal here is always red. It's kind of annoying. The timing is way off.
たまたまでしょ。Is that just bad luck?
いや、
No way!
病院に行くときは私の記憶してる限り青であった試しがない。
As far as I can remember, from all the times I've come to the hospital, that signal has never been green.
きっと信号機のシステムを作ったやつってすごく意地悪なやつなんだよ。
Oh my god! I'm sure the guy who designed these traffic lights is a sadist.
あるいは佐伯病院に恨みを持ってるとかだ。きっと。
Or they hold a grudge against Saiki Hospital.
考えすぎだって。You're overthinking this.
Chisato emphatically thrust her fist into the air. An unexpected voice came from Yamashina-san in the driver's seat.
お嬢様にならともかく旦那様に恨みを持つ方はちょっと考えられませんね。
For a lady like you, I'd hate to think of what would happen to someone with a grudge against your husband.
ちょっと山科さん、
Hold on, Yamashina-san.
それはどういう意味ですか？
Just what do y'all mean by that? After hearing such a flippant remark from mild-mannered Yamashina-san, I had to hold my stomach to contain the laughter. Chisato-chan looked at me for a while, then burst into laughter.
あれ？Oh? What's that?
Oh boy. Just then, I heard the sound of a police siren coming from behind us.
何かあったのかな？
Something must have happened.
Something?
I realized that it couldn't be related to us because Yamashita-san had been driving responsibly this whole time. So Chisato-chan and I watched the patrol car drive past us along the shoulder. However... Huh? Yeah, there's about a 50-50 chance of that, I'd say, Jess. Looking at the front windshield, I saw two police cars crossing the intersection. And then... Oh, God damn it, I forgot to... They immediately turned left through the Psyche Hospital entrance gate. After they entered the hospital grounds, the police cars cars turned toward the back. They stopped in front of the care and welfare center. And those weren't the only two here. Oh, God. Another 3 police cars were already here. 5 cars total were parked with their red lights flashing. I could see several policemen around the hospital staff. Oh, God. He might have killed someone or was killed himself.
どうしたんですか?
What's happening? Chisato-chan and I greeted some of the residents standing nearby as we got out of the car. However, most of the people gathered nearby seemed to be here to check on the noise, shaking their heads with looks of disappointment on their faces.
何があったんですか?
What happened here?
一体?
What could it be?
危ないから下がって。
Stay back, it's dangerous.
関係者以外は立ち入らないでください。
Please, only staff are permitted to enter. Even though I wanted to talk to policemen, this man spread his hands and prevented me from going any further. Moreover, I could see yellow tape attached to the entrance of the center up ahead. Countless pieces of tape with "Do Not Enter" written across them. This isn't normal. This is completely abnormal.
どうして?
Why? Huh?
I surveyed the area and was surprised to see a woman in a red suit standing near some police officers in uniform. She was talking to the police officers gathered over there, and it seemed like she was giving them orders.
あの人.
That woman!
Natsumi?
Natsumi! I rushed over to the woman with the momentum of a bullet in flight. And once their conversation began to settle down, I jumped on the opportunity to pull on her sleeve and call out to her.
見ないさん.
Minai-san!
見ない刑事さん.
Detective Minai-san!
Huh?
あなた, Natsumi-san?
You are Natsumi-san. Exactly, Jess. It seemed like that. It's strange that that random guy had a name, but Natsumi's family doesn't have names in the tags anyway. Detective Mina looked at me with shock on her face. Then I prepared myself for her to be angry at me for disturbing her work, and I desperately asked her what I've been thinking.
何があったんですか?
What about here?
教えてください. お願いします.
Oh, what happened here? Please tell me.
As expected, Detective Mina stopped to assess the situation and carefully deflected her line of sight away from me. Nevertheless, I was undeterred, and when I began to move around to the other side, I suddenly heard a strange voice and turned around.
Why? Why?
I recognized her. She is one of the caregivers. I didn't know her name because we were never very close, but we occasionally had shifts together. I recall exchanging greetings with her face to face.
どうしたんですか?
What's going on here? What happened?
Yamase-san was. Yamase-san was. It was astonishing. I let out a wail to vent my dazzled thoughts. Then I heard something from the police car behind me. I could hear an unclear voice with no intonation, and some other noises mixed in. This is Kakuichi Police Station, calling all cars. This is Kakuichi Police Station, calling all cars currently in transit. Oh God. A murder has been reported. I repeat, on the premises of Psyche Hospital, a murder has occurred at the Psychic Care and Welfare Center. Oh God. Oh no! Oh no! The victim is Kazuko Yamase. Nearby vehicles, please head in for an immediate support. I repeat.
Huh?
Suddenly, moving like a lost soul, Detective Minai crossed by my side and approached the police car where the sound of the radio came from. Then she picked up the receiver from the inside and held it to her mouth. This is the Minai car, paging Kakuichi Police Station. This is the 1st Division Assistant Director Minai. I've arrived on the scene. That is a badass title. Including the support here, a total of 5 units are assembled. 3 more units. Please head to the Psyche Hospital site for regulation and organization of the general public. Be advised, there is no need to pursue the perpetrator. The suspect is... For a moment, Detective Minai glanced back towards me, and then... I knew it. I knew it! The suspect, Kazuma Takayama, is confirmed dead as of 1:51 p.m., found in a room inside the center. The cause of death is excessive blood loss. Oh God. Details will be announced later. Thank you. Officer Minai, this is Kakuichi Police Station. Understood. Please continue your investigation. Thank you. Roger. Ending communication. Just now. The detective? Just now. What was that? The person who murdered Yamase-san is... Oh my God, Natsumi.
Detective.
made my way towards Detective Mina, shambling as if wandering through a dream. The detective finished returning the receiver to the car. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry about that. That was probably a bit too loud for you guys. Oh, God. The detective finished returning the receiver to the car. Then, as if she felt a sign, she slowly turned around.
What on earth? What is this?
あなたが聞いた通りです。
It is as you heard.
今日の朝、殺人事件があって、
A murder occurred this morning.
この介護センターの介護士さんが一人亡くなりました。
One caregiver at this center has died. Detective Mina spoke in a clerical tone, trying to keep emotions in check. It's a lie. I don't believe it. Because Yamase-san and old man Takayama were both alive up until the day before yesterday, right? The old man wasn't feeling very well back then, but the doctor said it wasn't a big deal, right? And Yamase-san said thank you to before I went home. We were laughing and talking, right? Oh, God.
あなたみたいな優しい子が介護士になってくれると嬉しいわ。
I'd be happy if a girl as kind and compassionate as you could become a caregiver.
頑張って資格を取りなさい。
Please work hard and consider gaining your qualifications.
私もできる限り応援するから。
I will do everything I can to support you.
夏美
Natsumi?
嘘だよ。
Oh, God. Oh, God. Here we go.
It's a lie.
All my strength had drained from both my legs and both my arms, from my entire body, so I slumped to the ground on the spot. Behind me, it must have been Chisato-chan. I felt two arms extend and hold me in place. Oh my God! I heard something. Someone was shouting in my ear. Someone was shouting in my ear. But, well, I couldn't understand it. The scene in front of my eyes was going round and round. Shapes, colors, everything collapsed and melted into a gentle haze. Attention, coming through! Please clear a path. We are carrying out the victim. We are carrying out the victim. Everyone get ready. Out of the way. A harsh voice rang out. The wall of noisy people crowded around stepped to the side, and two officers carried out a stretcher covered with a white cloth. The victim? Ah! When I heard that, I forced away the two arms wrapped around me from behind, and I ran towards the stretcher. Natsumi!
待ちなさい、夏美さん。
Please, wait, Natsumi-san. That's it. Something is absolutely wrong. Yamase-san being dead. It's such a lie.
藤田君、
Fujita-kun,
その子を取り押さえて。
restrain that girl. Whatever is on that stretcher, it's not Yamase-san. I'm sure it's a different person with the same last name.
君
That's why I don't believe it. I'll meet with Yamase-san again on Wednesday. She'll tell me to do your best and good work, with her usual smile and that kind voice.
やめなさい。
Please, stop!
見ちゃダメ。見るな。
Seeing it won't help. Do not look!
夏美さん。
Natsumi-san! Oh god. Oh god. Wrong. Wrong. This is wrong. It's not Yamase-san. Because Yamase-san is very beautiful. She has smooth, soft, white skin. Oh god. Natsumi! Natsumi!
落ち着きなさい。
Please, calm down.
落ち着いて。
Calm down.
君だから離れて
You there, get away.
お前ら早く持ってけ
Get out of there immediately. This looks more like a pomegranate than a human face. Oh my god.
しっかりして。しっかりして夏美。
Be calm. Be calm, Natsumi.
お願いだから。
Please. Please!
藤田。
Fujita!
私が責任取る。やれ。
I'll take responsibility. Do it!
はい
Yes! I'm sorry! I suddenly felt a heavy pressure on my neck. My breathing ceased and my vision went dark. It's a dream. That's it. Surely this is a dream. Did she just give Natsumi like the Vulcan nerve pinch or something? Someone please tell me so. What's that? Where am I? I saw a pure white ceiling. The fluorescent lights were faintly flickering. I faintly sensed the peculiar smell of chemicals. Was this the school nurse's office? No, the room was too big and it was too quiet. She must be in the hospital. Actually, I began to wonder if this place was in the school at all. And what time was it? I tried to tilt my head a little to the side. The windows were covered by thick curtains. A little red light managed to come in through a gap, but I wasn't able to see outside. I reluctantly began to raise my upper body to get out of the bed. I lifted the heavy blanket and pushed it away, then moved my body to the bedside. What?
Huh?
Right then, the person sleeping over there awakened to greet me. It was Chisato-chan.
千里ちゃん千里ちゃん
夏。
Oh god, you too. Natsumi. Oh god. Chisato took a look at my face, and huge tears began to overflow from both her eyes. Then she sprang up, and so tightly, she hugged my body. Oh god.
Chisato-chan, why?
よかったよ。
I'm glad. I'm so glad.
私本当に
She really, really loves her. Oh my god. I really, really didn't know what to do. The warmth of her arms and that tearful voice gradually removed the fog from my mind and restored my memory. Right. I came with Chisato-chan to my part-time job at the care center. And then,
ごめん、千里ちゃん。Sorry, Chisato-chan. 心配かけちゃって。ごめんね。Huh? Chisato-chan? Sorry, I made you worry. I'm sorry.
oh god. Yeah. Yeah. Chisato-chan nodded multiple times, but her arms wouldn't loosen their hold around me. However, it didn't feel like the usual joking hug. It was very, very gentle.
私こそごめん。
I'm the one who should be sorry.
もっと強く夏美を止めなきゃいけなかったんだ。
I should have tried harder to stop y'all.
役立たずでごめん。ごめんね。
I'm sorry I couldn't help you. I'm sorry.
そんな、千里ちゃんのせいじゃないよ。No, Chisato-chan, it's not your fault. だからもう、泣かないで。So you don't have to cry anymore, okay?
Chisato-chan was always bright and full of laughter. Honestly, there were times when I thought she was making a bit of a fool of herself. But now I know that was mistaken. Even though she was usually kidding around, I was grateful for how deeply she worried and cared about me.
ねえ、千里ちゃん。Hey, Chisato-chan. ここは。Where am I?
佐伯病院の病室だよ。
It's a hospital room at Saki Hospital.
突然だったからこんな部屋しかなくて。
It was so sudden. This was the only room available. I gently pulled myself away from Chisato-chan's chest and took another look around. It was a spacious and beautiful private room with only one bed. There was nothing very only room available about it. Chisato-chan must have said something unreasonable to her father, and they must have brought me here. Come to think of it, what time is it?
今6時だよ。
Right now, it's 6 o'clock.
安心して。
Oh, y'all can take it easy.
夏美のお母さんには私の家で勉強会やってそのまま泊まるって伝えてあるから。
I told your mom that we're having a study session at my house, and she said it was fine. Chisato-chan also mentioned that she was able to keep my part-time job a secret.
ごめんね。何から何まで。I'm sorry about anything and everything.
いいんだよ。夏美は気にしなくて。
It's fine, Natsumi. I don't mind.
私にはこれくらいしかできないんだからさ。
To me, This is the least I can do.
そんなことない。All of this, it's more than that.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Woo! Because all of this that Chisato-chan has done for me was more than I could ever do. Right, in the end I couldn't do anything. In fact, what I did wasn't just meaningless. It may have even been harmful. Why does she hate herself so much? Back then, if I hadn't protected old man Takayama, he could have been transferred to the psychiatric ward and received proper treatment. Oh god. Then Yamase-san wouldn't have been killed, and everything could have been resolved quietly.
やっぱり夢じゃなかったんだね。This wasn't a dream after all.
Understanding the meaning of the words I muttered to myself, Chisato-chan sat silently with a sore expression. She didn't respond, but that reaction was a clear answer. Chisato cares about her so fucking much.
山瀬さんはさ、
Yamase-san. Instead, she just said that quietly and shifted her eyes towards the window curtains.
もともと佐伯病院の市長さんまで勤めていた優秀な看護師さんでね。
From the beginning, she was an excellent nurse who worked well with the leadership at Sagi Hospital.
あの介護福祉センターの設立を最初に提案した一人だったんだよ。
She was the one who originally proposed establishing the Care and Welfare Center. Oh my god. A few years ago, Yamase-san's family consisted of her, her husband, and her father, and her son. They were a family of 4. Her father was old and became bedridden. Out of a sense of duty, Yamase-san was performing her job both at the hospital and at home every day. But ever since she was promoted to chief, her workload was getting busier and busier. Nursing is the kind of profession where you have to work irregular shifts to provide patients with 24-hour care. And imagine needs to be available all day and night, so it's often difficult to even take a day off. For that reason, she couldn't provide as much for her family, but I heard that her son decided to help out with taking care of her father. However, an unfortunate accident occurred. One day when the father was feeling sick with a fever, the son tried to treat it like a regular cold by administering vitamin supplements. But it was actually organ failure. Oh my god! Unfortunately, the family didn't notice it for a while, and his condition changed so suddenly. By the time they brought their father to the hospital, it was already too late. It was breathtaking, literally in that case.
山瀬さんは息子さんを責めなかったよ。
Yamase-san never blamed her son.
むしろその時の症状についてどうしてちゃんと教えておかなかったんだって後悔し続けてね。
Yamase-san never blamed her son. Rather, she regretted not properly teaching him about the symptoms at the time.
それで
And then,
医療知識のない一般の人ではお年寄りの世話に対してどうしても不十分な対応をとってしまいがちです。
when it comes to care for the elderly, common people without Oh god, that's Yamase, sir. When it comes to care for the elderly, common people without medical knowledge tend to take inadequate measures.
また介護とは看護と同じく労務が重く、ご家族に対する負担も大きくなるでしょう。
Plus, nursing care is a heavy burden, and it places additional weight on your family as well.
ですから治療を目的とした病院とは違うお年寄りの方々が通常生活を送る能力を身につけるための施設がこれからは必要になってくると私は考えます。
That's why I think we need new facilities separate from elderly hospitals, aimed at providing treatment for elderly people and allowing them to acquire the ability to live a normal life in the future. Did they not have nursing homes in Japan? Because that's what this is, basically.
そう言って介護福祉センターの設立を私のお父さんに提案して、お年寄りの世話とリハビリを行える施設を立ち上げたんだ。
With that, she proposed the establishment of the care and welfare center to my father, and they set up a facility to take care of the rehabilitation of the elderly.
そして介護士って仕事を医療の人たちにも認知してもらって、介護の重要性をいろんな人に理解してもらうために毎日頑張っていたのに。
And every day, she asked the medical staff to recognize the contributions of a caregiver, because she wanted people to understand the importance of nursing care. After reciting that story, Chisato-chan grated the back of her teeth. She clenched both her fists so tight that they were turning white, and her nails began to dig in.
こんなひどい形で死ぬような人じゃなかったんだ。
It was so terrible. She didn't deserve to die!
もっともっとたくさんの人のために働いて頑張って。
She worked hard for so many people. She did her best, god damn it!
人に認められて幸せになる資格があった。
She was so happy to know that people were recognizing her qualifications.
それをおかしな野郎がめちゃめちゃに踏みにじっていきやがって。
Damn, she is angry. That creepy bastard left up with such a mess!
畜生畜生。
Damn it! Damn it!
千里ちゃん。千里ちゃん。
おまけに最後は自分で喉引っかえて死んだ。
Besides, in the end, he closed his throat out and died?
ふざけんな。
Bullshit!
死にたきゃ一人で首くくれ。
If he wanted to die, he should have just hung himself.
あんなに毎日頑張ってた山瀬さんを殺して。
Instead of killing hardworking Yamase-san
おまけに夏美まで巻き込んで。
and involving Natsumi.
南沢の野郎が。
And that was a bastard!
たたりだかなんだか知らないけど、周りの人間まで巻き込む権利があいつらにあるってのか。
I don't know what this curse is, but it doesn't give him the right to involve people around him! I silently wrapped my hands around Chisato-chan's trembling hands. Oh god. Chisato is... She has so much empathy. Chisato-chan was always so kind and cheerful. She was really worried about me. She said she shed tears for me when I woke up, because our friendship was that important. But she is becoming violent, angry, and hateful. She has a lot of harsh words to say in her grudge against Hinamizawa. After seeing that, I don't know what I'm thinking anymore. As a close friend, empathy maybe. As a person, compassion maybe. Or is it the pangs of my conscience reminding me I'm born from the same place as that detestable person? I don't know. I don't know what I am anymore. And then I heard a knock from the other side of the door. Chisato-chan, while her expression warped breathtakingly, and she responded in a harsh, tense tone.
誰ですか？
Who is it?
書き写し書の見ないです。
It's Minai from Kakurishi Station.
今よろしいでしょうか？
Is this a bad time? While tightly gripping my hands, Chisato-chan looked into my eyes. She slowly whispered, "Should I refuse?" to me, but I slowly shook my head, took a big gulp, and then nodded.
お入りください。
Please come in.
失礼します。
Please pardon the intrusion. And just a moment later, I heard the rattling of a doorknob as the door opened. Beyond the doorway, Detective Minai was wearing the same red suit as earlier, standing with a firm expression.
夏美さんの具合はいかがですか？
How is Natsumi-san's condition?
いいわけないでしょう。
Probably could be better. Chisato-chan answered with anger in her voice. However, Detective Minai endured it and quietly walked into the room, then crossed in front of her at my bedside and turned to me.
ちょっと。
Hey, hold on.
起きた直後にすみません。
You must have just woken up. Please excuse me.
少しだけお時間いただけますか？
Could you spare a moment?
君吉、夏美さん。
Natsumi Kimiyoshi-san.
あんたね。
Hey, you!
夏美がさっきどういう思いをしたのか分かってんのか？
Do y'all have any idea how Natsumi was feeling just a little while ago?
理解はしています。
I realize that.
ただ、これも仕事なので、ご協力をお願いします。
Damn cold. But I have a job to do, so I appreciate your cooperation.
冗談じゃない。
I'm not kidding!
とっとと帰って。
She's finally back. Huh?
千里ちゃん
Chisato-chan. I held down her arm to keep her from jumping up. After looking at Chisato-chan for a while, I looked towards Detective Minai and began to speak.
できれば二人だけでもいいですか？
If possible, could it just be the two of us?
夏美、そんなこと。
Oh god, Natsumi. Her low self-esteem is just like, oh my god. Natsumi, that's...
ええ、
Yes,
私もその方が助かります。
I agree. She's helped enough.
夏美さんのお体の負担にならないように努めますので、よろしいでしょうか。
I'll try not to strain your body, Natsumi. So is that all right?
千里ちゃん大丈夫だから。
Chisato-chan, I'll be fine. I said that while smiling and holding Chisato-chan's hand. Chisato-chan had been running around for a while, but after I expressed my feelings, in the end she agreed and said, "I understand," as she stood up. Just before opening the door and leaving the room, she glared intensely toward Detective Minai. With Chisato-chan gone, the room suddenly got quiet. I sat myself upright while feeling a dull pain in my head.
大丈夫？
Are you feeling okay?
平気です。多分。I'm fine, probably.
いろいろとあなたには聞きたいことがあるんだけど、辛くなったらすぐにやめるから遠慮なく言ってね。
There are several things I'd like to ask you, but please do not hesitate to stop me if things get heated.
あ、座ってもいい？
Yeah, Jess, I kind of figured that. She doesn't want her to know. Oh, God, she has such low self-esteem. It kills me inside. There are several things I'd like to ask you, but please do not hesitate to stop me if things get heated. Oh, may I sit down?
どうぞ。Go ahead.
After thanking me, Detective Mina sat down on a folding chair. Her expression softened when compared to a moment ago, and she had begun to speak. After thanking me, Detective Mina sat down on a folding chair. Her expression softened compared to a moment ago, and she began to speak.
ごめんなさい。
I'm so sorry.
あなたには乱暴な真似をしてしまったわね。
I've been very rough with you. It's fine for me, Oe. Is the stream okay for everybody else? I will say that today might have to end a bit early because they're doing a bit of maintenance on my internet. So this one might have to end a bit earlier than usual. In maybe like 10 minutes or so. Oh no, Jess. I'm so sorry. I've been very rough with you.
首は平気？
Is your neck feeling okay?
ええ。
Hello, T. Welcome to the stream, and I'm sorry there has to be these issues. I softly ran my hand down along my neck. It felt slightly abnormal, but I wouldn't think it much of it on its own.
あのまま叫び続けていたら、あなたの喉が潰れそうだったから。
If you kept shouting like that, your throat could have collapsed.
それに周囲に混乱が広がるのを止めるために手荒なことをしてしまいました。
And I had to stop the spread of confusion to the surrounding people, so rough treatment was necessary.
やりすぎは認めます。
I went too far, I admit it.
いえ。No.
I smiled and nodded ambiguously while offering an awkward answer. I thought she was a cold person, but when I looked at her delicate expression, I could faintly see the image of a person who was a little scared.
さっきの子、佐伯さんには随分と責められたわ。
That girl earlier, Saki-san, has been blaming me for a while.
万一のことがあったらどうする気だ。責任なんて言葉で片付けるなってね。
If something unfortunate happens, I wonder what she would do. So choose your words responsibly.
まさに正論だから抗弁のしようもなかったけど。
Because if it's just an argument, there's nothing I can do to protect you.
そんなことは。The incident earlier. でも私、よく覚えていないんです。But, well, I don't remember it. センターの前にパトカーがたくさん止まってて、そこにいた刑事さんに話しかけたところまでは思い出せるんですけど。I remember seeing a bunch of police cars functioning in the center, and I spoke to the detective who was there. そこから先は、なんだかぼんやりしていて。But from then on, what happened? My mind was drawing a blank.
精神的ショックからの一時的な混乱があるのかもね。
Maybe the sudden shock has left you temporarily confused.
でも無理に思い出す必要はないから今できる範囲で大丈夫よ。
But you don't have to force yourself to remember. Whatever you can do now should be sufficient.
はい。Okay. But,
I never asked. I had my doubts, yet it was unbelievable.
山瀬さんは
You had a bit of buffering, Jess? Okay. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna finish this chapter.
山瀬さん本当に亡くなったんですか Is she really dead?
After lifting her head in surprise, Detective Mina looked away for a moment while choosing her words, then inhaled in preparation, and quietly nodded in affirmation.
警察が駆けつけた時にはもう心停止状態だったわ。
When the police arrived, she was in a state of cardiac arrest.
鑑識の話だと後頭部を激しく殴打されてほぼ即死でした。
Forensics confirmed that she suffered a severe blow to the back of her head. Death was almost instantaneous.
そうですか Is that so?
苦しまずに絶命したからまだ良かったって聖者のざれ言ね。
At least she didn't have to suffer in her final moments. Perhaps that's the folly of life.
犯罪を未然に止められなかったのは私たち。いえ、この場合は私一人のミスです。
The reason we couldn't prevent this crime beforehand is that no, in this case it was my mistake alone.
謝って済まされるものじゃないけど、言葉にだけはさせてください。
It is not something to apologize for, but please just let me say it. I'm sorry. You think I might finish in time? Apparition? That's great. Thanks. Oh, I had no... I didn't realize how long I've been going. Okay, oh wow. I do have to go to the bathroom for a bit right now. But isn't that incredible? Tomoe saying... Look at this. Like, this is really showing you her character. She may be a no-nonsense policewoman, but she is not heartless. She is not heartless. And she is not flawless either, which I love. I love how they're characterizing Tomoe. Seriously, Tomoe, sorry. Like, she's not flawless, she is not heartless, but she is good at her job. And she's not perfect. And she's also not perfect. I really like how they're characterizing her. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom right now. Sorry. Hopefully the stream won't cut out while I'm there, and I'll go like, ah, jeez. Okay, I'm back. Has the stream been okay for you guys? Okay, because it is officially midnight where I am, so we will see if the maintenance takes the stream down, which I hope it does not. If it does, I always have a backup plan. I can just piggyback it onto my phone. So, don't worry. I did it once before during Umineko, and I can do it again for the last 30 minutes of this. I stayed silent while I gazed at Detective Mina, lowering her head. It was strange. Somehow I didn't feel any anger or sadness. Certainly a few hours ago, shouting at this detective. I should have been crying. Honestly, I was being naive.
畠山氏は温厚な人柄だって聞いていたから、まさか強行はないって勝手に思って。
I heard Takayama had a kind personality, so I thought he couldn't be a bad guy.
もう少し監視を強くしていたらこんなことには。
If I'd been looking a little more closely, all of this could have been...
畠山のおじいちゃんはどうなりましたか？
What happened to old man Hatakeyama?
それを聞いてどうするの？
If you hear it, what will you do?
別に何もないです。
Nothing in particular.
でも刑事さん、この後私に尋問するんですよね。
But, detective, you're interrogating me after this, right?
だったら刑事さんもご存知のことを教えてください。
Then please tell me what you know, detective.
私もう関係者ですから。
I'm already connected to this.
I thought I was maybe being audacious, but I couldn't just concede this. If I didn't learn anything about the circumstances, I'd feel sad that Yamase-san was killed, and I'd hate old man Takayama for doing it. It may just end at that. I didn't want that. Both of them were close to me, so I wanted to learn everything I could. Natsumi, you are so much more courageous than you think you are.
約束できる？
Do you promise? After staring at me while thinking for a while, Detective Mina finally said that. I understood what she meant and wasn't willing to say otherwise, so I nodded quietly.
辛い話になるけど、それでもいいの？
It is a painful story. Will you be okay?
はい。
Yes.
Detective Mina heard my reply, then pulled a notebook from her breast pocket and spread it out. Then she began talking in a voice devoid of emotion.
畠山一馬容疑者は朝の11時前後に介護士控室に侵入。
Kazuma Hatakeyama invaded the caregiver's waiting room around 11 in the morning.
そこで通話中だった被害者の山瀬和子に対し、部屋に備え付けの消火器を振り上げて後頭部を殴打し殺害。
The victim, Kazuko Yamase, was taking a phone call in there. Hatakeyama lifted a fire extinguisher that he found in the room, then struck her on the back of her head and killed her.
鑑識の話だと、直接の死因は後頭部への殴打による頭蓋骨陥没と頸椎損傷。
Forensics reported that the cause of death was due to the blow to the back of the head, skull collapse, and the damage to the cervical vertebrae. It happened just as the tenants finished their breakfast, and cleanup had concluded, shortly after the other caregivers were sent away. My God. Yamase-san said she had returned to the waiting room to respond to a call from the hospital's nurse center. It was a report that Takayama-san had disappeared from the hospital room he was stationed in due to his fever. Yamase-san was surprised to hear that. She did not see him at breakfast, so Yamase-san called to Takayama-san's home and asked the other caregivers if they had seen him. The telephone in the waiting room was on the opposite side of the entrance, and it was turned to face the trees out back. While sitting in the chair, the sound of the phone prevented Yamase-san from hearing the sound of the door opening. She was struck hard from behind by the fire extinguisher, and that was the end of her.
平気？
Are you all right?
やっぱりやめましょうか。
As I thought, should we stop?
いえ、大丈夫です。
No, I'm fine.
続けてください。
Please continue.
Noticing that I was slightly clenching the bed sheets, Detective Minai briefly stopped talking, but I shook my head and urged her further. I felt frustrated for a moment, but it wasn't painful. Rather, it was the opposite, because I didn't feel anything about it. Why? A person I know was killed. Isn't that sad?
それから容疑者は洗い場の食器棚から文化包丁を入手してしばらく滞在の後センター内の自室に逃走。
Then the suspect took a knife from the cupboard in the washroom. After staying there for a while, he fled to his own room in the center.
そして12時37分その室内にて自傷行為に至る。
And at 12:37, he injured himself in that room.
すぐに通報を受けて急行した警官隊が突入。確保して救急医を呼ぶが出血がひどく13時51分に死亡を確認。
The policeman rushed in as soon as they received the call. They brought in an emergency physician, but the bleeding was severe and death was confirmed at 1:51 p.m. Oh my god, Jess! Exactly. No, one thing I was really glad about that in Matsuda Bayashi is that basically he confirmed, it was basically confirmed that the syndrome was basically otherworldly in origin. Because it makes zero sense as any kind of biological disease known to humanity in how it acts and how it just disappears without a trace from the body after you die. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all physiologically. So, like, I am really glad that he put in that caveat.
以上です。
That is all. Detective Minan may have intentionally omitted the violent state of Takayama-san's body. However, I had no reason to confirm that. For some reason, I could not remember what it was like. Meanwhile, I was afraid that everyone would suffer through this on their own. Some of the caregivers seemed to have fled in fear, abandoning their workplace. That was probably the obvious reaction. If I were there, I would have run away crying. I would have jumped into a safe place and trembled. Only the people involved could say if it was over, and no one could have proven it. Is that wrong? If I were there, would I really have run away? Is that an airplane today, as opposed to the train, the usual, in the background? I think so. Sorry about that. Because old man Takayama wouldn't have killed me. Moreover, if he turned his blade on me, he wouldn't be the old man I know. In that case, that old man is an imposter. I'm sure of it.
Kimiyoshi-san.
Kimiyoshi-san.
Oh, I'm sorry.
自傷行為と今刑事さんは言いましたけど
You mentioned something about the suspect injuring himself just now.
それも包丁ですか
Was that also with the knife?
いいえ
No. What's going on here?
文化包丁は自室に戻ってすぐ窓から投げ捨てられたわ。
The knife was thrown out the window as soon as he returned to his room.
凶器は爪よ。
The weapons he used were his own fingernails.
爪
Fingernails?
そう
Right.
こう喉に指を突き立てて力を込めて何度も引っかいたの。
He held his fingers to his throat and scratched repeatedly with all his strength.
皮膚とその下の肉が裂けるくらいね。
His skin and flesh below were torn apart. I couldn't understand the meaning of that. Even if he slowly began to regret committing a murder and chose to atone for it by taking his own life, why wouldn't he do it using the sharper weapon?
それもそうね。
That's right.
ただ容疑者が精神的に錯乱していたのは目撃証言から考えても事実のようだし。
However, we have eyewitness testimony confirming that the suspect was mentally disturbed.
実際に私が以前会った時にもお社様崇拝に妄執するなど異常行為が見られた。
Actually, when we met the other day, he was obsessively worshipping Oyashiro-sama, and his abnormal behavior was plain to see.
だから非論理的な根拠によってそれを説明することは困難だと判断しました。
Based on that, I determined that it would be difficult to explain his behavior using pure logic.
でも
But
Fingernails are hard. They're softer than bones, of course, but they're the second hardest part of the human body. However, they are not very sharp, especially compared to metal cutlery. So even though the throat is a vulnerable area, it takes time to make an incision, and he would continue to feel severe pain the whole time. Considering all that, I couldn't think of a single reason he'd choose to use his nails.
これでいいかしら。
Do you think this is sufficient? After saying that, Detective Minai closed her notebook and held it to her mouth. It still felt inadequate, but I nodded and answered yes for the time being.
それじゃあ私からの質問。
Well then, here's a question from me.
今言ったお社様についてよ。
I mentioned Oyashiro-sama just now.
お社様
Oyashiro-sama?
そう。南沢村に古くから伝わる守り神のこと。
Right, the guardian god that has been worshipped in Yamazawa village since ancient times.
つい先日の大災害の時もお社様のたたりだってお年寄りたちが騒いでいたみたいだけど、あれってどういうこと？
The elderly have been making noise about Oyashiro-sama's curse since the disaster occurred the other day. What does that mean?
その前に約束してください。
Before that, please promise.
I raised my head and looked at Detective Minai while saying it.
何を？
What is it?
私は知っていること、ここで全部話します。
I'll tell you everything I know. Right here.
だから、これ以上は聞いても調べても何も出てきません。
So even if you ask me for more, you will not get anything else.
それに多分、他のひなみ沢出身の人に尋ねても、今話す以上のことは出てこないと思います。
Besides, even if you ask other people from Hinamizawa, I don't think you'll get anything more than what I'll tell you now.
それで？
And then?
だから、今後私と私の周囲の人たちに対して、ひなみ沢について聞き込みをするのはやめてください。
So from now on, please stop asking me and the people around me about Hinamizawa.
もう、これを最後にしてもらいたいんです。
I'd like this to be the last time.
Yes. Honestly, there was a lot more. I was fed up. I've been caught up in all these troublesome events thanks to my involvement with Hinamizawa, feeling pain I shouldn't need to feel. That's why I wanted to end it all here. I had nothing to do with Hinamizawa or this curse.
わかった。約束します。
Understood. I promise.
あなたとひなみ沢の話をするのはこれが最初で最後。
This is the first and last time I will talk with you about Hinamizawa. Well, in this timeline anyway.
これでいい？
Is that all right?
すみません。
Sorry about that.
じゃあ、話します。
Well, let's talk.
お社様についてでしたよね。
You wanted to know about Yoshida-sama, didn't you?
Then, while trying to follow what I could remember, I began to speak. It felt like the sky was hanging a little while ago, but somewhat strangely, the inside of my head started to clear up and it felt refreshing.
うちのおばあちゃんはひなみ沢の人間が村を捨てて出て行ったことがひなみ沢合災害、つまりお社様のたたりの原因なんだって言っています。
My grandma says that the people who abandoned Hinamizawa village are responsible for the Hinamizawa gas disaster. That it's Yoshida-sama's curse.
お社様は村人が村の外へ出ることを許さない。それを破って出ていく者は必ずたたられて業が訪れる。
Yoshida-sama does not allow the villagers to leave the village. Anyone who breaks that rule will be cursed, and misfortune will befall them.
その結果だそうです。
That is the consequence, or so they say.
村を捨てて外に出ていく。
Abandoning the village and going out.
とは単なる移転とか引っ越しでも？
Does that include moving or work-related relocation?
それ以外にも旅行も少し前まではダメだったと聞きました。
Not only that, I heard that even traveling was unacceptable until a little while ago.
だから無断で出て行った人にはお社様が必ず後ろについて回って足音が聞こえてくるようになるって。
So they say that people who leave the village without permission can hear the footsteps of Yoshida-sama following behind them.
私が聞いたわけじゃないけど、その人が道を歩いていると
I haven't heard it myself, but a person walking down the street.
その足音が必ず一つ増えて聞こえるそうです。
Supposedly hears an extra footstep.
Are you serious, Jess? Falero did an Onikakushi abridged? Oh wow. That would be interesting to see.
奇妙な神様もいたものね。
This is a strange god.
そこまで恐れるほどのたたりが本当に存在するの？
This curse they're so afraid of. Could it really exist?
私は
I
正直あまり信じていません。
don't really believe it.
それにおそらく若い子の大半は私と同じだと思います。
And most of the young children probably feel the same way.
でもお年寄りの人たちは綿流しのたたりが起こって以来お社様への信仰と畏怖をものすごく強めていきました。
But since the curse started occurring on the night of Watanagashi, the elderly people have redoubled their faith and grown tremendously fearful of Yoshida-sama.
I love this face. We gotta have that as an emoticon on the freaking. Oh my god. I would love to have this as freaking emoticon on the Discord. Oh my god. Oh my god, I love this face. Oh my god, I love this. She's like, are you serious? That's what it.
綿流しのたたりが起こってから？
Since the Watanagashi curse began. Oh, thanks, OA. Detective Mina seemed a little doubtful, but she was writing my story down in the notebook spread out in front of her.
それじゃあ次の質問。
Well then, next question.
その綿流しのたたりと言われている毎年の犠牲者のこと。
This curse on the night of the Watanagashi. about the victims each year.
よくご存知ですね。
It is well known,
でも私は沖宮にいたから詳しくは。
but I was in Okonomiya, so the details are...
構わないわ。
I don't mind.
お願い。
Please continue. After saying that, she leaned forward and looked closely at me. I didn't care much for it, but for the time being, I answered the questions to the extent that I knew.
4年前のひなみ沢ダム建設反対運動の時です。
4 years ago, during the campaign against the construction of the Hinamizawa Dam project,
私の親戚のおじいちゃんが村長でその指揮を執っていたんですが、
a relative of mine, the mayor of the village, was in command of it.
工事現場の監督さんが綿流しの日の晩に殺されました。
The foreman at the construction site was killed on the night of Tanagashi.
犯人は現場の作業員さんたちだったそうです。
The culprits were said to be other construction workers at the site.
その事件はこっちの新聞でも掲載されたわ。
The incident was reported in the newspaper.
犯人グループは死体をバラバラにしてそれぞれが隠匿した。
The criminals dismembered the corpse, and each concealed a piece.
Yeah, I know, right? This is some serious Castlevania 2 shit.
ただ結局は一人を除いて逮捕。残るリーダー格は逃亡して現在も行方不明だそうだけど。
However, all except one of them was arrested. The leader of the incident escaped, and is still missing even now. That reminded me. At the time the tragedy occurred, some weekly magazine wrote an amusingly exaggerated article about the village. It was a great opportunity, and in any case, the dam construction plan had to be completely reset, so it was a pleasant story for the village.
あの事件はひなみ沢の人たちが反対するダム建設の関係者が殺されたので、半分冗談みたいにたたりだと言われていました。
In that incident, a construction official from the dam project was killed. So the people of Hinamizawa who were fighting against the dam called it the work of the curse, half jokingly.
だからその時は誰もお社様に対しての怖さというか信心の気持ちはなかったと思います。
So I think back then, the people had no strong feelings of faith or fear. Like of Oyashida-sama.
Yes, at that time, the existence of Oyashida-sama and the curse were only symbols for the villagers to unite behind. Although Otanagashi was indeed honored as a spiritual pillar, it was very small compared to the festivals near Okonomiya. It was only a modest local festival. That was unmistakable. There's the train proper.
状況が変わったのはその次の年からです。
That situation changed the following year.
ダム建設賛成派の指導的立場で国からそのためのいろんなリベートを受け取っていると噂されていた北条家の夫妻が綿流しの日に亡くなったんです。
The husband and wife of the Hojo family, who were rumored to be receiving payments from the leaders of the Pro Dam construction faction, died on the day of Watanagashi.
崖からの転落事故でした。
They suffered from an accident and fell from a cliff.
On the day of Otanagashi, Hojo and his wife went for a family drive. They allegedly left their daughter in the car and went out to enjoy the scenery. At the time, the fence they were resting their hands upon collapsed, and both of them fell into the stream. The corpse of the husband was located, but his wife was never found.
すごく不謹慎な言い方になりますが、
It's a very callous thing to say,
村の大半がざまあみろの気分でした。
but most of the villagers were thinking that it serves them right.
私も北条家のご主人あまり好きじゃなかったし、
I too was not very fond of the husband in the Hojo family.
そしてそれを契機にして日和見だった人たちが建設反対派に迎合、村を二分した対立はそこで終結しました。
And then, thanks to this opportunity from the down opposition, the conflict that divided the village ended there.
However, I knew they never reconciled with the surviving members of the Hojo family. The son and daughter, who were about my age, continued to receive the cold shoulder from the villagers. To tell the truth, I felt sorry for them. The parents certainly betrayed the village, but the rest of their family was just another matter entirely. Needless to say, it was totally unrelated to the children. Mion-chan and Rika-chan were complaining that people were getting carried away in their anger. Still, every time I tried bringing up that story to my old relative, the mayor, the mood felt wrong, so I never put much effort into talking about it. I wasn't acquainted with them, so I resigned to stand aside, and I forgot half of this until now.
そして翌年、
And the following year,
今度はダム建設反対派の中でも穏健の姿勢を取り続けていた古出家の当主夫妻が亡くなりました。
this time the heads of an ancient household, who continued to maintain a moderate attitude about the dam construction project, perished.
ご主人は病死、奥さんは受水自殺と聞いています。
The husband died of an illness, and the wife committed suicide by drowning herself.
そしてこの時に村のみんながお社様のたたりを恐れるようになったと思います。
Around this time, everyone in the village began to fear the curse of Yoshida-sama.
どうして？
Why?
穏健派ということは
Moderate attitude.
運動の象徴であるお社様を真剣に敬っていないということ。
Is a symbol that you do not respect Yoshida-sama.
Oh, hello, Green Gem. Actually, I am going to. After Someutsushi. Before Kageboshi, I may as well announce that now. I was going to say it closer to the end of Someutsushi, but I am going to play Umineko Saku first, though I am going to play Umineko Hane, which will just be one stream because I've heard that's quite short. And then the day after, I'm going to do Our Confession. Well, not the day after, the next stream for When They Cry. After that is going to be Our Confession. Whether that'll be one or two parts, who's to say. And then the brand new arc of Saku. I am so excited. So altogether, it'll be about a week's worth of stuff. To say one last goodbye to Umineko. I can't wait. I really can't wait. Oof.
そのせいで罰が当たったのだとしたら、信心の深くない人は皆お社様のたたりの対象になるってことですから。
Because of that punishment, everyone who's unfaithful will be subject to Yoshida-sama's curse.
だから村人のほとんどが自分に火の粉が降りかからないように信仰を厚く行って、
So most of the villagers worship faithfully to avoid igniting an incident.
そのお祭りである綿流しを真剣に大規模に行うようになりました。
And they began celebrating the Watanagashi festival on a grand scale.
私のおばあちゃんも
And Grandma also.
おばあちゃん？
Grandma.
いえ、
No.
For a moment, Detective Mean Eye's tone dropped a little lower. I didn't want to discuss Grandma's delusions the other day, so I kept my words vague and continued explaining.
そして去年綿流しに参加しなかった北条家の主婦が殺されました。
And last year, the housewife of the Hojo family, who did not participate in Watanagashi, was killed.
同時にその息子さんも行方不明になっています。
At the same time, the son went missing.
そして今年は
And this year,
旅行中のカメラマンが殺されて、
A photographer traveling the area was killed.
彼と仲の良かった村の診療所の看護師が山中にて焼き殺されたでしょ。
And a nurse in the village clinic who was on close terms with him was burned out in the mountains, right?
huh?
This time I was surprised. The story that was supposed to be known only to people in Inamizawa. We only just learned about it after getting in touch with our relatives.
実はね、今年の事件については沖宮署の刑事さんから話を聞いていたの。
Actually, I heard about this year's incident from a detective in Okonomiya Station.
そしてその看護師さんが山中で発見された現場に立ち会っていたのは私。
And I was one of the people present when the nurse was found in the mountains.
そういうことなの。
So that's why.
じゃあ綿流しの殺人事件についても
Are you serious, Green Gem? That Saku is not the last? Are you serious? That is the first I've heard of that. Do you think that maybe a possible Umineko remake, if the Higurashi remake does well, would kick off something new for Umineko? That would be amazing. I would love that. I love Umineko to pieces.
Well then, regarding the Watanagashi murder cases,
その人から少しは。
I heard a little from that person.
でもおかげでいくつか貴重な情報を聞くことができたわ。
But thanks to you, I was able to hear some valuable information.
ありがとう。助かりました。
Thank you for your help. Answering out of my question, Detective Mean Eye closed her notebook and put it in her pocket. Then she leaned her body into the backrest to release the tension and lowered her jaw into a sigh.
ずいぶん時間をもらってしまったわね。
I've taken a lot of your time, huh?
体の方は大丈夫？
Are you feeling all right?
はい
oh, yes,
平気です。
I'm fine.
I actually felt slightly ill, but I shook my head to answer. Seeing that, Detective Mean Eye faintly smiled and got up out of her seat.
ご協力感謝します。
Yeah, I can see, Green Gem, how a sequel wouldn't work, but even more clarification than the manga? Really? That's interesting. I assume he could just do more clarification in a possible new anime adaptation. Oh, and thank you, OA. Thank you for your cooperation.
それと私が言えた義理じゃないけど、お大事にね。
And thank you so much for keeping track of the time, Apparition. That's actually going to work out perfectly. Yeah, don't worry. It's fine if we go 6 minutes over 2 hours. That's totally fine. Also, don't think I'm obligated to say this, but take care of yourself.
あの
Oh,
After Detective Minai carefully bowed to me, and as she put her hand on the doorknob to leave the room, I called out to her. With a question as she looked over her shoulder, she turned to face me. I felt sorry for a moment, but nevertheless I breathed in and asked her to repeat what I had asked earlier.
本当にこれでもう最後にしてください。
really, after this, please let this be the end.
お願いします。
Please.
分かっています。
I understand.
私はこれでも嘘が嫌いなの。
Even now, I hate lying.
約束を破るのもね。
That includes breaking promises, of course.
あと
After this,
私がひなみ沢の御三家出身だってこともみんなには黙っていてもらえませんか？
will you keep it quiet that I'm from one of the 3 families of Hinamizawa?
For a moment, Detective Minai looked at me peculiarly, but she quickly understood my intention and nodded firmly.
わかりました。
Understood.
確かに昨今、ひなみ沢に対して異常な偏見が広がっているしね。
I'm aware that unusual prejudices against Hinamizawa have spread in recent years.
約束します。
I promise you,
さっきの佐伯さんにも余計なことは言いませんから。
I will not say anything unnecessary. That includes to Saki-san, who was here earlier.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
それじゃあ、帰り際に佐伯さんに声をかけておくわね。
Well then, I will speak to Saki-san on my way home.
今日はゆっくり休んで。
Rest well today. Then Detective Mina left the room. In this large hospital room, only I was left behind. Why? Since a little while ago my mind began clearing up. Everything felt lighter. The sadness, too, and the anger, even the warm feelings. Nothing was there. Yamase-san's murder, Hatakeyama-san's death, Chisato-chan's angry shouting, Detective Minai's desperate attempts to solve the mystery. Everything somehow didn't matter. Then I removed all the heavy stones from my head and began to think clearly. One reliable answer came to mind.
そうだ。
That's right.
The reason I suffered so much until now, why I was depressed, is because I came from Hinamizawa. Oh God, oh God. Oh God, oh God. My life could be lost in the blink of an eye. All my effort could be easily wasted. Telling people that I am from Hinamizawa only brings misfortune. The lives of 2 people were robbed. Then it's very simple. It would be best to leave behind my ties to Hinamizawa. If I'm not a person from Hinamizawa, I won't feel this unpleasant inferiority complex. If I'm not a member of the 3 families, the people who fear the curse are irrelevant to me. I can abandon them. How easy such a solution. Oh God. Do I feel guilt? Pangs of conscience? What are those things? Old man Takayama. No, if I hadn't taken care of that sweet old man who was frightened and agitated by this curse, I wonder if Yamase-san wouldn't have lost her life. How simple. Wouldn't that have helped? What can I accomplish with kindness alone? Oh no! I can do nothing! Right! I can't do anything! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! detective promised me this wouldn't concern me ever again. I told her everything I knew about Inamizawa. No, that's not right. I'm not talking anymore. I've thrown away all things related to Inamizawa. Things that should be kept secret, like the curse, everything. Everything! That's why I'm no longer a person named Inamizawa. There is no curse. Anybody who fears the curse is a stranger to me. And so, in my heart, I scoff at the abuse of Hinamizawa. My heart is getting excited. It's getting more and more clear, softer and brighter. Oh no! Natsumi! Oh no! That's it. I will keep things the way they are now. My important friends, the person I love, these are all sorts of people. There are all sorts of people and various things that make me happy. For that reason, I'll make my heart harder and stronger than ever. Hinamizawa, I'll just throw it away. And the sound of Higurashi gradually faded away. At this moment, when the vermilion light fades into darkness, I was here. In a way that I never felt before. I was happy. Yep, I thought so. Oh, yeah, 4 plus the tea party. Yeah, there's either going to be 10 or 11 Someutsushi streams overall. So, yeah, this is going to finish next week. The investigation has begun, a new tip, which we will read next time. So yeah, they're either, depending on how fast I get through things, there will be either 4 or 5 more Someutsushi streams. I can tell right now, the next one is going to be the tip and the next chapter. And then the last 4 chapters are going to have to be some finagling, because there's one with a pretty weird length that I'm not sure I know how I'm going to do. And, but I think I could squeeze into 4 more streams. Yeah, I think I could squeeze it into 4 more streams. I'm looking at it time-wise on Lambda Delta's playlist. I'm not looking at the actual contents. Don't worry, I'm not spoiling myself. Yes, Cream Jam. I no longer know how to laugh normally. I can only do witch cackling. Yeah, it's probably going to be 4 more streams. I also have to do the police case file. I'm saying that because of the police case file and the all-cast review. Someutsushi has its own all-cast review. The very last Higurashi all-cast review I would ever be able to do. That's something I can't wait, because I love the Higurashi all-cast reviews. So you guys, until next time, I will say I'm really excited. Yeah, we probably have around 4 more Someutsushi streams, and then we are doing our little Umineko revival, which I can't wait. Starting with Hane, and then going to Our Confession and Saku. So, until then, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You are all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.